Hey guys, this is Calculus Family. In this tutorial, I'll be taking you through how to master absolute value problems. I have a lot of questions I'm going to take you through, the different types of absolute value problems you should be expecting. And stay glued to your seat. Please watch this video to the end and don't forget to subscribe. The very first problem, problem 1, I have x plus 1 less than absolute of x. So given an absolute value problem like this, you have x plus 1 is less than the absolute of x. The absolute is applied here. So what does that mean? There are two different cases. So when we have x to be greater than or equal to 0, it means I'm going to have the positive end of this. What happens? We're going to have x plus 1 is less than x, right? With this, you understand that this is impossible. Why is this impossible? This is because you end up getting 0 is less than negative 1, right? 0 is less than negative 1 because you're going to have 0 less than negative 1, and this is impossible. So we don't go by this. Then you try the second case when x is less than 0. So when x is less than 0, what are you going to get? You're going to have x plus 1 is less than negative x. So this gives x plus x is less than negative 1. We're going to have 2x is less than negative 1. Therefore, x is less than negative half. Obviously, you're going to have so x is less than negative half, right? So we're going to have negative infinity, negative half open, right? Great, there's the answer. Let's go to the second problem. So second problem, you're going to have absolute of x plus 3 less than or equal to 5, right? So this is a very basic problem. So how do we solve this? So generally, you know that the absolute is applied here. So either this is going to be positive or negative. So we simply merge the two cases by writing negative 5 less than x plus 3 less than 5. So this merges the two scenarios. That is for when this expression is greater than 0 and when it is less than 0. Okay, so this is what we're going to get. Here we solve this inequality simultaneously. So right, we're going to have 3 moving. So I have negative 5 minus 3 less than x less than 5 minus 3, right? So we're going to have negative 8 less than x less than 2. Okay, so this becomes our solution. In the interval notation, since it is so in the interval notation, remember it is equal to, right? We have equal to signs here. So we're going to have this bracket negative 8 comma 2 in quotient. Good. The third problem, we're going to have absolute of 5 minus 3x less than 2. 5 minus 3x less than 2. So how do we solve this absolute problem? So to solve this absolute problem, you simply have to go by the same scenario. So this is one type, right? So you saw this type and you've seen this type, right? So with this type, you always make sure that you expand it by writing in this notation. I'll have 5 minus 3x, which is going to be greater than negative 2, but less than 2, okay? So it's the same format. I'm going to have negative 2 minus 5 less than negative 3x less than 2. Then you also have minus 5 going here. Good. So this gives negative 7 less than negative 3x. Then you're going to have less than negative 3, right? At this point, you divide through by the coefficient of what x, which is negative 3, and that will turn the sign. So check, it's going to reverse the sign. So you're going to have 7 out of 3, then it will change to this x, it will change to this, then we have this is going to give us, so here I'll have this over negative 3, this becomes over negative 3. So that's what we are seeing. So at this point I'm going to have 1, right? Good. So here you have this greater than x, this greater than 1 as our solution. Hence you're going to have your 1. So since it is less than, you're going to have your 1 comma 7 out of 3, right? Good. That's the answer. So what's our next problem? So our next problem, which is the fourth problem, you're going to have the absolute of 3x minus 2 greater than or equal to 1. So now you are switching the sign, okay? So apparently this also follows the same thing. You're going to have negative 1 which is going to be less than what? 3x minus 2, less than or equal to, don't forget. Then we're going to have um, the same thing here. We're going to have less than or equal to 1. Okay. So once you have this expression, you're simply going to have negative 1 plus 2 less than or equal to 3x less than or equal to 1 plus 2, right? So this is 1 less than or equal to 3x less than or equal to 3. Okay. So what do you get? You simply have 1 out of 3, 1 out of 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1. Okay, good. That is all. Okay, what's our next problem? So a different problem here. So here it's not inequality, but it's an equation. So absolute of 3 minus x is equal to x minus 3. With this example, what are you trying to say? If you have absolute of 3 minus x is equal to x minus 3, you can think about that it has been reversed, right? This has been reversed. So with the reversal, what you are trying to do is, assuming that I give you absolute of u, absolute of u will be equal to the negative u, provided that u is less than or equal to 0. Take note. If you have any absolute, or if you have a member within an absolute and it's being equal to 0, negative of itself, it means that it is actually less than 0, right? That is so simple. Therefore, we don't do any big thing here. Don't worry yourself expanding. It's just logic. So you simply have to write that the content here, which is 3 minus x, is simply what? Less than or equal to what? So it should be less than or equal to what? 0, right? As simple as that. So it should be less than or equal to 0. This gives us what? 3 is less than or equal to x. Or you say that x is greater than or equal to 3. And that is our answer. Like, good. The sixth problem, which is similar. So it's a follow up, okay? So when you get an absolute problem like this, absolute of 3 minus x is equal to 3 minus x. Good. So here is saying that absolute of 3 minus x is equal to 3 minus x. How do you solve this problem? You think you're going to solve this problem so easy? Yes, it is very easy and by observation. Since you have to, don't worry yourself solving by the normal approach. With these types of question, you simply see that the absolute of u is given to be u, provided that u is greater than or equal to 0. And you know that. That's true. So here you just say 3 minus x, right, is simply going to be greater than or equal to what? 0. Therefore, you have 3 greater than or equal to x. Therefore, x is less than or equal to 3, and that is the answer. Now let's move to the seventh problem. We're going to have seventh problem to be absolute of 1 out of x minus 2 is less than 4. Yeah, this is a beautiful problem. So here you have x here to be a fraction, but it follows the same pattern. Remember, this becomes negative 4 less than 1 over x minus 2 less than what? 4 itself, right? But there is a technicality here before we simplify it. But we simplify it to the next step. So you know you're going to add 2 on both sides, right? So negative 4 plus 2 less than 1 over x less than 4 plus 2, and this is going to give me negative 2 less than 1 out of x less than 6. At this point, you take your two cases. It's very important. You know, you have a fraction 1 over x, meaning that x can be greater than 0 or x can be less than 0. It's an unknown. So you try for the two cases. That makes absolute value problems technical. So where x is greater than or equal to 0, what happens? Let me make it can't be equal to 0, sorry, because if it becomes 0, you end up getting undefined. So where s is greater than 0, what happens? Let's simplify. You're going to have negative 2x, right? It's less than 1. It's less than what? 6x. Okay? Whenever you have an expression like this, don't be scared. Okay? This is very simple. It means that you are going to take this as 1, then you take this side too as 1. Taking this side as 1, I'm going to have x to be equal to, so here see, when I take this side as 1, so this side, when you take this side as 1, you are simply going to have the expression of x here. So you break it into 2 if you want to. So negative 2x is less than 1, right? So what do we get for this? We're going to have x greater than negative 1 out of 2. That is perfectly true, right? Then you break this one to, you're going to have 1 less than 6x. And what are you getting? You get 1 over 6 less than x. So these are the two um options. So either s is greater than negative half or x is greater than 1 out of 6. But wait, we do some testing here. That makes it technical. The testing is that if you're telling me x is greater than negative half, which is a smaller number, and s is greater than 1 out of 6, meaning that I supposed to take the bigger number. Obviously, if x is greater than, let's say, 5, I know obviously if s is greater than 5, x is also going to be greater than 1. So why don't I go for the 5? So meaning this is actually the right answer here, not this. This finds itself within this, okay? Then you try the second case where x is what? Less than 0. So if x is less than 0, what happens? What's the main changes? Your sign reverses, okay? So you're going to have negative 2x greater than 1 greater than 6x. That's the change of sign. At this point, we do the same scenario. I'll have negative 2x greater than 1 separately, and this is going to give me x is less than negative half, right? And I also have 1 greater than 6x, and this is going to give me 1 out of 6 is greater than x. So here too, x is less than negative half and x is less than 1 out of 6. We obviously know that negative half is very small, and if x is less than this small number, then it will also be smaller than this big number. Therefore, the right answer is x is less than negative half. So you clearly see this, and once you have this written, you can equally say that our answer are the two different answers for the two scenarios. Therefore, answer is given as 1 out of 6 less than x, comma x less than negative half, right? So that becomes our answer. Good. So let's solve the next problem, which is going to be the eighth question, right? Good. So the eighth question, we're simply going to have 2x minus 5 absolute, right, is equal to negative 4. Oops. So with this problem, obviously you can see that this is very false statement and is no solution. You can't have any absolute giving a negative solution. So this is no solution. Take note. It's just to trick you. Finally, we have our ninth problem here, which says that 0 less than absolute of 3x plus 1, okay, is less than 1 out of 3. Once you have this expression, don't be lured. Now let's ignore the 0. Okay. Now let's tackle this. Absolute 3x plus 1. So always when you have this problem, ignore the zeros and solve. The 0 is just a conditional term. Okay. Once you have this expression, you know you can break it down as negative 1 out of 3, less than 3x plus 1, less than 1 out of 3. Beautiful. Okay. So once I have this, I'll send my minus 1, and this is going to give me negative 4 out of 3, less than 3x, less than, then this is going to give me 2 out of 3, negative 2 out of 3. So with this expression, I can simplify and I get negative 4 out of 9, less than x, less than negative. So here becomes negative 2 out of 9. Good. So once you have this expression, we are sorted, right? But wait, we've omitted a condition. So we then come back to 0 less than the absolute of 3x plus 1. What is this trying to say? This is just trying to say that we should omit 0. We don't need 0. So this implies that 0 is equal to 3x plus 1 gives us an exceptional condition. Therefore, you say that when x is equal to negative 1 out of 3, when you simplify this, at this point, our equation is invalid because it's saying that it should be greater than 0, okay? So therefore, our answer is simply going to be x greater than negative 4 over 9 and less than negative 2 over 9, where x is not equal to negative 1 out of 3. As simple as that, okay? Or you simply write open negative 4 out of 9, comma, negative 2 out of 9, where x is not equal to negative 1 out of 3. So this is all about absolute value problems, and I hope you've gone through, you've seen the different types and how to approach it. Thank you for being on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe, then you also share.